Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Suds News. I am Vinny. This is Angela. And for me, you'll see a little bit of a different setup just because I had to move my camera. But either way, I'm a little bit more in your face, more than normal. But anyways, Angela, how are you today?
I'm glorious, Vinny. I'm absolutely glorious. As I told you, I got my aunt's house completely cleaned out. So it was like this huge thing that I was doing every spare moment. I wasn't able to write a whole lot. I wasn't able to, post and be a pain in the ass on Twitter or Daytime Dish. It's really funny. I went over to Daytime Dish yesterday and they're like, oh, Carly Stan's hiding. I'm like, please stop it. Stop it. I don't hide. I'm too glorious to hide.
Well, I was actually the one making enemies over the weekend, this week on social media. First off, I do have to address a couple of things. First off, I didn't start this episode with the 10 belt salute for Hulk Hogan. For all of you that know, Hulk Hogan passed away at the age of 71 on Thursday, July 24th. And we, John from Chairshot Sports and I did a special impromptu late night episode just of remembering Hulk Hogan. So we did the 10 bell salute at that point. Addressing Hulk Hogan's death has been quite a complex situation and brought up a lot of conflicted feelings with a lot of people. Going through social media. Hi, Spedrock. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the chat. Memorializing Hulk Hogan has been a very conflicting thing for a lot of people. There's pretty much a clear divide between people on the internet, whether you're somebody who's going to remember Hulk Hogan for the good stuff or remember him for the bad stuff. And there's no feeling that's wrong. And that was my fault for trying to police the narrative around Hulk Hogan, basically, with social media, in regards to social media. People have the right to feel the way they want to feel. I can't project my feelings onto them. I haven't had the same, the same reality. I haven't lived the same experiences as other people.
And that's what I was saying to you the other day. And I even said it nicely. Right. I didn't even smack you.
You were right. And you're actually the one that told me that told me that Hulk Hogan died. And trust me, it hit me very, very hard. In fact, I think I shed more tears for Hulk Hogan passing away than my own father. That's how much it affected me. And here's the reality of the situation. And I would. And here's the reality of the situation is that when you are somebody who is beloved, and in wrestling, there's the old saying that the best baby faces are made out of the best heels, and the best heels are made out of the biggest baby faces. What I mean by saying that, Hulk Hogan was beloved by many people growing up. And, there were millions upon millions of Hulkamaniacs from every background, culture, race, creed, whatever. However, in the latter years of his life, that window, that image was shattered by numerous choices, words, expressions that he may have said in his personal life, and did say, because it was on video. And when he was faced with taking accountability and responsibility for it, he went a different route. He didn't come straight out and apologize. He used it more like, well, watch out for live microphones, and you could be recorded and everything. And, I viewed it as a learning situation, but many people were more hurt and deeply offended because he didn't come right out and apologize. So even though I was upset at what happened and disappointed at, hearing the words and hearing the phrases and everything, I gave him a pass because he was going through a rough time, but that doesn't excuse what he said, and it doesn't make it okay. While I choose to look at the character of Hulk Hogan and what he did for me growing up, and I don't want to say excuse, but look past the bad, not everybody can. And while we always talk about separating the real REAL from the real REEL, it's hard to do that with wrestling because it's a live form of entertainment. So for the many millions of Hulkamaniacs that were, in our generation growing up in the 80s and 90s and looked up to him, to hear him say those things had to have hurt very, very deeply. And some people just couldn't forgive and couldn't go past it. Some people can, some people can't. Whether you can or can't, that's your prerogative. That's your choice. That's your right to feel the way you want to feel. So for those of you that I hurt because of trying to police the narrative, that's on me, and I apologize. But Hulk Hogan was a very big influence in my life, and I will always choose to look at the good.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And I understand where you're coming from with it completely. I messaged you when I first saw it, and I said, I know how much he meant to you, so you have my sympathies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was true. I can separate him from the people who mourn him.
Mm-hmm.
And
looks
heroes,
like you frozen it. Yeah.
I keep freezing. They say, never meet your heroes.
Right.
Because, you don't want to know the real, because there are real people behind them.
Right.
Exactly. And they're not always good people. I mean, they're people. They don't always make the best choices. You know, I did not like Hulk Hogan. I am one who did not find his apology sincere. And here's the thing. I think that, there's something to be said for the fact that he didn't actually really apologize, because I don't think he was really sorry for saying it. And there's something to that. You know what I mean? There's something about that with, owning, at least he owned it. He didn't try to pretend that, he didn't try to do this whole, I'm a changed person yet, so there is something to that where he, could get an attaboy, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to, but I mean,
yeah.
I think that, I still see a lot of people we, like with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how many copies of Thriller I went through. I still have it. It's a jam. I still listen to it. But my feelings about the artist are completely different now. And that's the same, Malcolm Jamal Warner died.
Yeah. Yeah. And Malcolm Jamal Warner actually got overlooked a lot this week because not only did he lose. And as I was saying, Malcolm Jamal Warner got completely overlooked this week because of both Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan passing away in the same week, which was very unexpected. I mean, it's always unexpected, but it wasn't on, to have those three in a row in like literally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was insane. You muted yourself.
Is it better now?
There you are.
I have a little funny story. So my little great aunt is 97 and in a nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I keep freezing and I don't know why. Real quick, funny story with Ozzy and Hulk with my 97-year-old great aunt. I said to her, she's in the, we moved her to the nursing home, and I said, you outlived Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan. And she went, wow. And she went, Hulk Hogan? I thought only the good died young. I said, well, he was 71. And she points to herself. She goes, 97. I'm like, all right, taken. Point taken. 97, yes. And that wasn't me trying to like crap on him. It was just funny to me that, Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. And no, that is a funny story.
It was just funny,
Yeah. No, and I get it. But I am in a much better headspace now. So it's it took a few days to sink in and come to terms with it. But WWE did a tremendous, actually two tremendous, remembrances and memorials for him. So I mean, it's still there. It's still a very controversial subject online. Chelsea Green, who's a current WWE superstar, put up a well written post about his death, and got attacked by her followers for acknowledging and saying that he was an inspiration and brought a lot to the WWE, and then had to kind of pull back, and then ended up leaving social media because she was attacked. People can feel the way they want, and I apologize that I got caught up with the, policing.
I think, see, my thing is, I think it's okay to mourn him, but and it's okay that he inspired people. It's okay that because nobody is just one thing,
right?
And a lot of the time, a lot of the inspiration he gave people, a lot of that stuff that, the idolization came before anybody, before the bad stuff came out.
Right.
And it just, that bad stuff, it doesn't erase what he meant to the people that he meant something to. It makes you go, wow, it can make you rethink him, but that doesn't change the effect he had on you in the time he had it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's hard. People need to be able to have their own feelings about things on both sides of it. And you can say that he was all of these good things, and people can say he was all of these bad things. And, at the end of the day, he was both. Like many, I mean, we all have our good and bad. Some have more bad than others have, but I'm not brushing it under the rug. Believe me, guys, that's not what I'm saying. I am not a Hulk Hogan fan. And quite honestly, when I heard he died, mine was sad. But anyway, it really was. For my personal, Ozzy Osbourne, I cried about Ozzy. I cried about Malcolm Jamal Warner. I didn't about Hulk. But I'm not going to bash people who did. Because I have my heroes. And I've had heroes that I've, come to learn horrendous things about. And while they're no longer heroes, they still had that effect on me. And so what is it? I come to bury Caesar, not praise him.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. But want to thank the 109 people that are currently watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the chat, Amber and Susan and Kaiwan and Steve. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining the chat. Come on and jump in. The water is nice. And I we want to say that tonight's episode is powered by W Energy. I'm actually drinking the W Hydro tonight, if you could see it. There you go. W Hydro watermelon lemonade, and it's right in this cup. And you can't see it because it's blended with the background, but go to dubby.gg. Use promo code Suds Media for 10% off your purchase. Again, that's wdubby.gg. Use the code Suds Media for 10% off your purchase. Okay. So, a couple big topics in the soap world besides getting into General Hospital. We did find out that the Kelly Monaco podcast was canceled, so to speak. I guess Kelly's not going to be doing it, even though her previous co-host is going to be continuing on with the show, apparently. But Kelly Monaco was, gung-ho for the show, but apparently I've heard rumors that she may have gotten a new gig on another soap.
Well, here's what's fun. So first, Shanna was asked about the podcast, and she said that Kelly wasn't going to be doing it with her anymore. She was going to be doing it with somebody else because she said that Kelly was dealing with personal things. And then there was a whole lot of, wait, what personal? A whole lot of speculation. Yep. And then she went, work. I'm not 100% sure that it's actual work or if it was Shanna doing damage control.
Yep.
Because people had jumped on the other thing she had said. It's possible. I mean, I had heard way back when she was going to Days.
Yeah.
And then when the podcast was announced, I was, roundly bashed for my wrong information. So it would be funny if she actually is on Days.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. General Hospital is dark, so it's impossible really to get information right now. The other ones aren't, but I have been so neck deep in the stuff with my aunt that I haven't checked on anything. I'm barely writing, which is making me crazy, but hopefully that changes soon. But I am planning on trying to get as much info as I can coming up here soon. So,
all right.
About this. Yeah.
Fantastic. And remember, folks, coming up this Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on many of the same channels you're watching, it is the 2025 Sudsy Awards live as a premium live event for Suds Media. We have, we're working on, there's actually going to be quite a number of people that are going to be joining us live to do live presentations. A couple of people pre-recorded, but we are going to be going live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on these same networks. That's the 2025 Sudsy Awards. So definitely tune in on Friday night, check it out. And then going into SummerSlam weekend, it's going to be a very jam-packed weekend for all of us this weekend. All right, so, well, we've got a lot to go over for Port Charles World. And I will apologize. I actually binged a lot of GH yesterday just because of, just because I just didn't have time over the past couple of days because I'm doing a lot of other things. But we did.
I'll tell you guys right now, I missed a couple episodes and I haven't had a chance to watch them yet. But I watched today, I watched Friday, and I've read recaps and seen clips and stuff so I can cobble it together. But
I actually haven't finished watching today yet, so I watched about halfway through. But yeah, so
did you see my journey?
Yep, a lot of good Jarly scenes this week. But we did happen to catch the glimpse last week of Britt being back, or Kelly Tebow. We don't know whether she's Britt or not, although there has been an interview that came out.
She said that she is playing Britt, which yeah, I was shocked that she said that.
Yeah,
because they kind of seem to be trying to keep it a secret, but
so I mean, she is getting a lot. Of course, General Hospital is getting a lot of hate online for bringing back Kelly Tebow as a character that she wanted to be killed off, but now that she wanted a job, she called Frank and apparently got a new job.
And honestly, I have issues with this too. I don't have issues with them bringing people back, but she did make a big deal about wanting Britt killed off for it to be a closed door and the ending and yada yada yada. And at the same time, she's a human being, life changes, things change, whatever. Um, I don't think she was needed. And that is nothing at all to do with Charlie, because I think that, especially based on what I saw today, it seems to me that they're going back to the story they had planned in 2021 before they knew Steve was leaving and didn't take the backs, which I'm okay with. I am absolutely fine with that story, believe you me.
Looks like you're frozen.
I don't think she was needed, though. Yeah. I was hoping that, when it wasn't sure who she was going to be, because I was told that she wasn't a clone, but that she wasn't Brit.
Right.
But apparently she is Brit, and, but it's still weird to me. And the person who told me that was very surprised that she came out and said that too. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what shakes out of the pockets of the people I can turn upside down after they're back on the 4th.
Yeah.
But I wanted her to come back as Brit if she was coming back, because Brit's dying of Huntington. So I'm fine with that. Yeah. I mean, of course, there's fuckery they can do with that. I don't know that they are, but
right.
Well, I keep seeing people say, "Why are they making Jason and Britt some amazing couple?" They weren't. I don't think that they are. I don't think that they. I mean, I think we knew that he felt bad for hurting her in 2021.
Yeah,
he moved on. He was happy to marry Carly. He was very happy about it, and he moved on from it. And he felt bad about hurting Britt, but like when Carly told him you can keep seeing Britt, he was like, no. But I don't think they're making it this big that they were some big amazing couple. I think they're making it that he had wanted to give it a chance. Things happened that they couldn't, and now maybe she's alive and yada yada.
It's more like unfinished business.
Exactly.
Like the one that got away or something to that effect.
I don't even think that it's the one that got away. It's that I think that he felt bad because he had promised to be there for her with the Huntingtons, and then he couldn't because of the stuff with Carly, and he felt bad about not being, and then she died, and yeah.
So Aisha says, could she be a Brit, but not necessarily the Bridge, as in, just somebody with the same name?
Well,
I've never seen that happen before.
Possible, although they did in the credits. She was listed as Westbourne.
So she was,
maybe she doesn't remember that she's Brit. There's a lot of, and Shauna's right that their story never fully played out. But here's the thing, Shauna. Their story was intended to play out with her dying in 2022. She was going to die. That was the plan. That they were, the Huntingtons were going to kill her. Yeah. Things got changed.
Which is the whole reason why she sacrificed herself to save Jocelyn. Got changed.
I'm sorry. I don't know what hell is going on for my internet. I'm so sorry, guys.
I just said, which is why she sacrificed herself for Jocelyn, because she knew she was going to die from Huntington's anyways.
Right. And I really want to address the people, who think that Joss contributed some way to her death. She didn't.
No.
Joss and Dex didn't even know Britt had been hurt. Right. And she told them to go. And the police wanted her to, she knew she had been hurt when the police wanted her to go to the hospital, and she said no. And she knew about the poison and all of that stuff. That was a choice she made. And Joss had nothing to do with it. There was nothing Joss and Dex were going to do. No, I'm not going to be mad. Here's the thing, guys. They're pairing Jason and Britt.
Yeah.
But as I said before, in 2021, before I knew, Burton was leaving, she's a Brit stop. A pit stop kind of thing. They are pairing Jason and Britt, but turn that down, please. Thank you. I don't think that it's means the end of Jarly. Like
Right.
Jackie, I think she's angst for Jarly.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that okay. So this was going to be the story originally. Turn it down more. I'm podcasting, please. Actually, why don't you go watch it in the living room, please? Just while I'm podcasting. I'm trusting you. Do the right thing. Yes, you do. Sorry. The kids spend the night. Anyway. So originally, before Burton refused to get the vax.
Yep.
Sonny was not going to be coming back to Port Charles until November for November sweeps. It was going to be the November sweep story. And he was supposed to come back to Jason and Carly married in love and living as husband and wife. It was still going to play out the way it did. Jason was still going to step back. Carly was still going to go back to Sonny. The Nina stuff was still going to happen. He was going to get back together with Britt. And just as he had recommitted to Britt and the Huntingtons was kicking up, Sonny was going to have the affair with Nina. Just as he was committing to Britt, the Huntingtons was going to kick up and Sonny was going to have the affair with Nina. So then Carly was going to be, and so Jason was going to be torn. And there was going to be a lot of Jarly angst. And it was going to end with Britt dying and Jarly having their glorious reunion. Steve, having the Huntington's marker doesn't mean you'll ever get the disease, but she was diagnosed with having the actual disease. And she was diagnosed 4 different times. And the first time, I know that a lot of people are like, oh, Victor did something. But the first time she was diagnosed, they were on the run and she had the test done under an assumed name.
Yes, I remember that.
So I'm not sure how Victor would have been able to fuck with that. Yeah, she doesn't just have the marker. She has the disease. And her symptoms were getting worse, which was why she was leaving town when she was killed, is that she didn't want to be a burden on everybody and yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, absolutely they could reverse it. It's a soap opera. They can do anything. I tend to think they won't, like they didn't with Gregory's ALS, because it's a serious disease, and Kelly Thibault is a spokesperson now for Huntington's. The show has gotten a lot of accolades for it. And like I've had people say, well, Nicholas's love cured Emily's cancer. Okay, great. But cancer can be cured. Not by love, I know, but it's not always a fatal disease. Huntington's, like ALS, is. There is no cure. There are things can slow it down. There is no cure. So unless they're going to say she was misdiagnosed, there's still an expiration date on this character. I know that she's on contract. And from what I understand, it's like a 2 or 3 year contract. Which means that she can't go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though she's already talking about, she's already been talking about wanting to do other things. But I think that's why Frank, even if he only planned on keeping her 6 months or a year, is locking her down because he knows she will leave. And I have no problem with people leaving. My thing is, sometimes she says things.
All right.
That kind of, and now I'm frozen again. She kind of says stuff sometimes that kind of make it seem like the people who are vets or stay or make it their careers. Some things I'm like, that's a little shady,
Almost like looking down on soap actors.
Yes. Exactly. You know, I don't want to stay. I want to be able to do other things. I want to be able to and there's no problem with actors. A lot of actors want to play a lot of different roles, and that's fine.
Yep.
But you're not better than people who have committed to this genre, which is the hardest working actors in the business. I don't give a shit. Fight me. I will die
right.
believing that. And anybody who's worked in the genre knows that. So, you know, but it's going to be interesting. I'm really excited about the Liesel part of it.
Yep.
I think she faked her death.
I think so too.
I think Britt faked her death for the same reason she was leaving town. I don't think Liesel knows.
Oh, okay.
Which would lead, you know, just because, I mean, when she was talking to Rocco, she was talking about how she still misses Britta every day, you know.
Yeah. Do you think that this will play into the WSB somehow, seeing as she's the one that Vaughn and Joss are after?
Because of the huntings. What? I'm sorry.
Do you think that maybe the WSB is involved because she's the one that Joss and Vaughn are after, the courier, so to speak?
Well, yeah, because today it showed the courier went to her. The courier was bringing whatever they were bringing to her. It was towards the end, so you probably missed that part.
Oh,
but
yeah,
yes.
I know what. Yeah.
So she is involved in whatever Dalton is doing, it seems.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, she is involved with that.
That would be great. I think the WSB is going to be one of the best stories going forward. I like how they're rebuilding it. I like how they're moving away from the mob stuff. I mean, they still have a new villain in Sidwell, but he's not an actual mobster. I mean, he's obviously doing stuff against Sonny, but he's not he's not in the gang warfare type of deal.
Right. And I mean, honestly, it seems that I don't know why this keeps freezing. It is making, I'm so sorry. This is making me crazy. I think when he told Sonny about wanting him out of town because he didn't want that crap around his business is possibly true.
Yeah. I'm almost wondering if the heat is is taking a toll, because it is very humid up here in New England.
I'm rebooting. I will be right back. Just do the thing. I have to reboot. It's making me crazy. Okay. Sorry.
All right. So it's just me for a little while, folks, until Angela gets back from her hiatus with the internet. But you know what? I can tell that my internet is very shoddy as well. It is very humid in New England over the past, today actually. I'm wondering almost if that's playing a problem with the Wi-Fi in the area. But folks, go ahead and hit the chat, because I know that my voice could probably put people to sleep on its own. So I want to be able to kind of go back and forth with the chat. So you're right. You're right, Kaiwan, that Sonny doesn't always kill his enemies. It does end up going with different things, because they always want to bring some back. Matt and Kat had trouble with. Oh wow, okay. So Matt and Kat had trouble with their internet as well, so they couldn't come back. Thank you for letting me know, Judy. I'm kind of wondering if it's something just in the atmosphere. Maybe there's some kind of a sunspot or something that is really going to do that. I don't know. But we shall see. Anywho, We're just trying to keep things going right now. Um, trying to keep things going. So I'm going to go to an ad right now. Hopefully, Angela will be back on the flip side of the ad. We'll be right back with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Suds Media is an official affiliate of the WWE Shop. Whether you want merchandise from the original Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, or the Hall of Famers, the New World Order, or from WrestleMania itself, scan the QR code on the screen or go to suds-media.com/wrestling merch, and it gives us a commission to help our show. All right, so Angela's not back yet. But, well, okay, so Jeannie, Spectrum is not here in Connecticut, thank God. I have heard horror stories about Spectrum as well. I currently have Comcast. So again, I'm not sure why it's so weak tonight. I don't know what Angela has in terms of her internet, so I can't comment on it. But yeah, Spectrum is horrible. I've heard that from multiple people who don't know each other. So it's bad. All right, so let's kind of move on a little bit. Our main thing. Oh, Angela is coming back. Let's see if she's back now. Welcome back.
I really hope that this goes better because I don't know what the hell's going on with this internet, but it's making me nuts.
You know,
okay.
Jeannie in the chat said that Matt and Kat had trouble with their internet on Sunday as well, and couldn't come back to 2 days. I'm almost wondering if it's the humidity.
I mean, it's possible, but they're in California and I'm outside of Boston, so.
Oh, I know. I'm in Connecticut, so I'm right near you. Yeah. Welcome, Del J.
Yeah, so I don't know, but it's. Yeah.
So I do want to go over and get to our what the fudge moment of the week, because one thing I did see this over Friday that I mean, besides the whole wedding being kind of what the fudge, but the idea that it was Curtis that told Willow about Nina and Drew. I was wholeheartedly expecting Nina to be the one to tell Willow about her affair with Drew. I was not expecting it to be Curtis.
Yeah, I wasn't either, but I liked it.
I did too. I absolutely loved it. I think the way that Curtis went ahead and, kind of wanted to take the pressure off of Portia and off of Portia himself and kind of break up that wedding. But Willow, the way that some of her looks were just, she was almost turning into Nell.
Oh my God, yes. Is it me that's frozen or you, or is it? I don't know.
I think you were frozen or getting back.
Did I freeze that time, or did you?
I couldn't tell.
See, I thought you were frozen because this time it was like weird. But okay.
All right. But yeah, Willow was turning seriously into
yeah, she was absolutely. And she was like, the things she was saying to Nina, the whole, I mean, she's not wrong. Nina should have told her, but the whole, you're why I lost my kid. What? Huh? And then today she said to Drew that he was, he destroyed her marriage. Like, no, sweetheart, my sweet summer child, you did that. You were the one married.
Yeah.
That wasn't him. That was you. Yeah, she is psych. And then showing up crazy at Carly's.
I didn't see that yet, so.
Oh, okay. At the end of it, she showed up crazy at Carly's, like pounding on the door in the wedding dress, and went, "I have to see my children." And in the previews for tomorrow, it's her saying to Michael and Carly, "You said if I didn't marry Drew, I could see my kids, but I didn't marry Drew." And I'm sitting here going, "But you didn't not marry Drew so you could see your kids."
Yeah.
And
See, her
she
whole
looks like a psychopath, all deranged in the wedding dress in Carly's living room. Michael needs to tell her, you need to go put yourself together, and then we'll talk.
like I have to say, I gotta give Katie McMullen credit. She is playing this to a T.
Knocking it out of the park.
Like
Absolutely phenomenal.
I love the edgier characters.
Mm-hmm.
Willow and Drew have been the most interesting that they've been since this whole story started.
And I said that the other day. They've never been, neither of them have ever been more interesting than they are right now. And that's just facts. You know what I mean? That's just, you know, and this is fun. This is why soap actors love to play this stuff, though. You know what I mean? This is so much more fun than the Hallmark romance shit. Yeah. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. You know, and it's like, I don't like the idea of, I don't like the idea of people attacking Cameron Matheson for his performances because I'm sorry, but Cameron Matheson has been doing fantastic. For somebody who, you know, at first wanted to justify Willow and him as being good people and stuff and of being a super couple, after he realized, no, people are supposed to not like you. You are bad. You are villains. He has embraced it. And I'm enjoying it.
I am absolutely loving it. And I saw Steve said he was confused they didn't acknowledge it was Curtis at the wedding. Drew blamed Nina. Well, Drew doesn't know it was Curtis.
Right.
I think that will come out later, and he's going to be very angry. But, you know, yeah, it was, and also somebody said Willow doesn't take any accountability for her actions. She's just like her mother.
Yeah, you're right.
And her sister Nell. I mean, those, you know, and her grandmother Madeline, who was, you know, who did this, you know, did all the crap. You know, they all have a reason that they're the victims. It's like the family tree.
And just the way that she was that Willow was telling Nina, and like you brought up, Willow was saying that Nina was the reason she lost her children. Drew, you know, was the reason why her marriage got screwed up. She's the one, you know, and you could ask my wife. She was sitting here with me while I was watching. It's like, no, you're the one that did all this to yourself.
Exactly. You know, Drew, you know, kissed you. You kissed him back.
Yeah.
More than once.
And it could have ended right there.
And she was the aggressor when they had sex that first time.
Yep.
So, yeah, that little girl needs a wake-up call. She is psychotic. And, you know, when Michael finds out that she's why Sasha and Daisy left, hell will hath no fury.
Oh, absolutely. Del J chimes in. Is it Nina's bloodline that brings out the crazy in her daughters? I mean,
it might be genetic because God knows that woman is batshit to herself. So
Nina came in pretending to be disabled, you know, after being in a coma for X number of years,
and drugged Silas to try to rape him because she felt he owed her a baby. Exactly. And then the shit she did to Ava.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, her couple, whatever, in Ferncliff or whatever, did not cure that woman.
No. But that whole thing was your What the Fudge moment of the week. Brought to you by What the Fudge Homemade Confections in New Haven, Connecticut. If you are in the New Haven area or planning on traveling through, go to whatthefudgect.com or facebook.com/whatthefudgect to check out the flavors of the week and possibly put in an order. It is made in a cottage kitchen. However, if you are in the Durham, Connecticut area or the North Haven, Connecticut area, she does go to the farmers markets every week. She will also be having a booth at the North Haven Fair in September. So go and check that out if you're in the area. I've been hearing possibilities that she'll be getting a commercial kitchen very soon and be able to ship. So once that happens, I will let everybody know. But for right now, she can only hand deliver. So again, whatthefudct.com. Use the code SUDS for 10% off your first order. It is fantastic. Okay, so Del J brings up, will Kai finally see that Drew is deceitful? That's been something that's kind of been on the back burner a little bit, like not back burner, but an underneath story. Kai and Trina, because Kai's the one that told Drew about Curtis and Portia's plan.
I don't think that Kai doesn't know that Drew is deceitful. Kai knew that Drew was marrying his nephew's wife and the affair. I don't think that he is saying that he thinks Drew is pure and whatever. I think his thing is just like Trina's thing with Ava.
Yep.
Trina knows Ava did all of this really, really, really bad crap. She knows she did really, really, really bad crap to, Joss's family. Yep. But she takes Ava for how Ava is with her. And that's what Kai does with Drew. Yeah. And I would like somebody to point this out to Trina. And nobody in the world can convince me. And I say, I love Trina. I really do. Nobody in the world would convince me that if she heard Carly or Jason or Michael, or Michael or Sonny on the phone or in a conversation talking about how they were going to ruin Ava's entire life, that she wouldn't have run her happy ass right to Ava in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
You can't convince me of that. She absolutely would. And people can say, oh, but it's been longer and da-da-da. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because she got close to Ava knowing that Ava was partially responsible for the death of Joss's brother. Knowing that Ava had killed Connie in cold blood.
Right.
And blamed AJ for it. And let AJ get, she knew, she knew all of the stuff Ava had done. Drew had an affair with his nephew's wife. And he was blackmailing Portia to get Curtis to be nicer to him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Drew's a good guy. He's not. He is a bad guy. But his crimes next to Ava's crimes.
Yeah, doesn't equate.
And, him and Trina have been dating for just a few months longer than he's known Drew.
Yeah.
As well, as far as the Sabrina storyline, the majority of the Sabrina storyline was Spencer treating her like crap.
Yeah.
Spencer was a boy comprised entirely of red flags.
Yep.
Entirely of red flags. He was shit to Trina. Always. There was a couple weeks at the end, even when they were like dating and Esme was out of the picture, she's trying to study and he doesn't care that she's committed to school because school doesn't matter to him.
Right.
Spencer wasn't shit. He needs to stay dead as far as Trina goes. And people cannot like Kai and Trina, and that's fine. But Spencer was not good to Trina. He wasn't.
So why do you think that this, and I'm sure we've talked about it, ad nauseum, but why do you think that the Sabrina pairing was so popular? Because people are still referring to it, and comparing Kai and Trina to Spencer and Trina. So I don't understand why the Sabrina relationship was so popular.
For the same reason that the Sonny and Carly relationship was popular. I don't get that either. He was an ass to her. He was abusive to her before they even hooked up and continued to be so. And a couple sweet moments in between don't take away from the bad. Just like Jason and Sam, the man threatened to fucking kill her. Sonny threatened to kill, people love these. Luke raped Laura, and they are arguably the most known super couple of all time.
Yeah.
For some reason, people are very willing, soap opera fans are very willing to forgive this trash ash behavior in the men. And I understand that this is not a Hallmark, but you can have issues without it being death threats and, yeah.
And the Kylie Trina story can be more interesting. I think
it is. I mean, I think it is with him, with what's going on right now.
It is. I don't think it's necessarily boring. It's just not front burner. So it's just, it's not something that they're putting the spotlight on.
And there are so many other big things going on. And remember, we still have a few more days of July sweeps.
Yeah.
And that story is just not front burner July sweep stuff. But I think, it will get more focus going forward. Because he wants to, he wants to win her back. And I'm, whatever. That is what it is.
So let's kind of move on to the dumpster fire that is Christina. We saw I didn't watch all of today's episode.
The way of her namesake. I want her to go the way of her namesake. The bitch has got to die. I was not a Sam fan. They killed off the wrong fucking daughter of Alexis's. I swear to Christ they did. She gets worse and fucking worse all the time.
Yes, I agree. She is the absolute worst of both of her parents, and we've said it before.
Yeah, that crap with Cody and Molly.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That was disgusting. When she was trying to convince her sister that Cody didn't really like,
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I understand that she's trying to get Cody to seduce Ava because, in theory, breaking Ava and Rick up will stop the blackmail on her mother, but it may make it 10 times worse. But the other thing is, it's such a small town. Seeing Cody and your sister kind of flirting and being friendly, now it's like, okay, I would have been like, Cody, I see you're interested. My sister's interested in you. I want you to stop everything with Ava. But she's too self-centered to see that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just this. I mean, all that shit with Molly. He doesn't really. It just really, really pissed me off.
Yes, I agree.
It was disgusting what he did.
Yep.
Or what
I'll be the first person to admit I was a Christina apologist for a while, but at this point in time, you can't excuse the actions and the behaviors that she's doing, because not only is she spiraling out of control, we saw her obviously cut the brakes on Rick's car and all that. She acts very impulsively, and it's like, I understand that she's trying to get to the point where she wants to turn herself in, but then she's worrying about her mother and all this. Like, it's just one big convoluted mess. Everybody's trying to protect Christina when Christina's the one that needs help.
Right. Yeah, I think I don't think, her whole trying to protect her mother shit. If she was truly trying to protect her mother, she would just go turn herself in. She wants to protect her mother in as much as, just as long as she doesn't have to take accountability for what she did.
Yep.
And so I'm like, whatever, bitch. I am whole thing over her character. I really am.
But also with Alexis telling Christina, oh, you can't turn yourself in because now I'm an accessory. That's just, again, very, very selfish of Alexis to even, still even put herself in that kind of a situation.
Right. But the thing is that that was Alexis's actions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she could turn herself in without turning Rick and Ava in for blackmail. Because Rick and Ava would be in just as much trouble as Alexis. So that's mutually assured destruction. So she could just turn herself in, and that would put an end to the blackmail. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because Alexis can get in trouble for, whatever, so can Rick and Ava.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just...
Taiwan Willow is just about as bad as Christina.
Willow is not as bad. Willow is crazy. She's not trying to kill people.
Well, no, she hasn't tried to kill anybody yet.
I mean, her whole thing the other day with, not caring when Portia told her that Drew wanted to frame Michael for being a drug addict was, absolutely she's crap, but she's not. I don't want her back with Michael.
Right.
But,
exactly.
She's not this.
Yeah. Let's see. Catching up on the chat a little bit, Shauna says there's an aspect of taking the bad boy that worked decades ago. I think Sabrina is because they hadn't focused on young love in a long time. An interracial major couple played into it. I don't think they were a major couple. I think the fans made it bigger than it was.
Right. And my thing is that, and they were, because they had another young love story. I mean, they had Oscar and Joss. They had Cam and Joss. They had Joss and Dex going on at the same time. My thing is that I do not understand why. As a Carly fan, I cannot want her with Sonny because he treats her badly.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, on a soap couples are always going to do things to hurt each other, but he treats her badly. Spencer treated Trina badly. From day one, he lied to her about who he was, didn't tell her he had a girlfriend, and was like getting involved with her. And then it just kept spiraling.
It did.
And it was just... Exactly. I cannot want my girl with somebody, and Trina is one of my girls. I cannot want my girl with somebody who treats them badly. I just can't.
No, you are exactly right. And here's the biggest thing, and I'll kind of touch on what Sean has said, is I agree with you that the bad boy had always been a, one of those things where women were, that women were attracted to the bad boy. But in this day and age, it just does not work. There's too many, not only the red flags, but there's too much pressure on, there's too much pressure on entertainment to not make these people heroes, which is why we don't have Luke on our show, for over a decade now. Because ABC wanted to distance themselves from any characters that, had raped others. That's why we don't see Todd Manning. That's why we don't see, Luke and Todd Manning, So it just, you can't, and of course, I'm not saying that rape is the only way to be a bad boy, but you can't be those troubled people and be looked at as a hero anymore.
Daisy Flower, you keep saying that phrase. I think you might have even said it to me in Instant on DM, but I've heard you, and you've said it in here a couple times, that Kai just proves that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit on that, because Kai being black does not mean he owes Trina's family loyalty over somebody that he considers one of his people.
His boss, his friend.
Drew has been there for Kai. And Drew and Kai's relationship is not that much younger than Kai and Trina's relationship. Kai and Trina's relationship is only a little bit older. And Drew has gone above and beyond for Kai. He doesn't owe Trina's parents anything.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't owe them anything. Because he's dating their daughter, he needs to let them plot to destroy the person that he considers a mentor and who's been there for him as much as Drew has? No. Nope.
It does. You're absolutely right. And Daisy, I do understand that Kai and Trina are boring, but I don't even see that them being boring because they're not on all the time. I think what people are getting confused with is, the fact that they're not on every day means we're just not seeing, them in different positions and different, situations. I don't know if, well, I mean, Nicholas Alexander Chavez had chemistry with a lot of people. It wasn't just
Sabrina did have chemistry. Nicholas Alexander Chavez and both Trinas that he acted with absolutely had chemistry, but that doesn't excuse the fact of the crap that he did to her. And Spencer is dead. And even if they bring Spencer back, it's not going to be Nicholas Alexander Chavez. So here's the thing. You don't have to like Kai and Trina. You don't have to, not call for, people want to call for another story for her. That's fine.
And Shauna kind of puts it out there saying,
but
it's smart. It's smart for Kai to choose his future career.
Yeah,
exactly. I think it makes sense that, and you're right. You're right. Trina had a lot of chemistry with Kai's best friend, but he was just there as a best friend. Will he come back? Maybe. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Yes. Okay. I mean, well, here's the thing. Chemistry is subjective.
Yes.
People see it where other people do not see it. I think Kai and Trina have really great chemistry. I really do. And that's not me saying that she did not have great chemistry with Spencer, because she did. I like Kai and Trina's chemistry. I like that they're giving them angst, and I hope that they, I think they can work through it and come through it. I think that there are people who only want Spencer for Trina. I'm not saying that that's Daisy. I don't know. But there are some people who are determined that they will not like another pairing for her other than Spencer. And that's fine. But right now, he's not on the show. And from what I understand, they're not planning on bringing him back anytime soon. I mean, it's possible. Again, there's been no info for, going on a month now because of the, it being shut down, and most of our info comes from various crew members, but then they're off work too. It's completely possible they're going to bring a Spencer back. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be for Trina, but he might be. But that also doesn't mean that they're going to hook Trina and Spencer back up if they do. You know what I mean? Kai could win that triangle. We don't know. What we do know is that they brought Kai on for Trina.
Yes.
He was brought on the show specifically to be Trina's love interest. We'll see what happens. It seems to me that what they're going through right now is angst. And I really, really, really desperately want somebody to, tell Trina that, girl, you're being a really big hypocrite. Because... They're not going to put Spencer with Jocelyn, I don't think. I could see maybe Emma, but they seem to be doing Emma and Gio.
Yeah, I like Emma and Gio together. Shauna says, here's my personal wish, Kai is Brick's son. I guess in the story, I don't know the reason he hasn't had family support. Which, I mean, could be, and I said it before, I really wish that, when Kai was in the hospital, that Brick went in and told Kai, oh, you could be a sports broadcaster, kind of playing off the fact that Stephen A. Smith is that. But I never got that. But
you know who I wanted Kai to be, and I still kind of do?
Oh.
I would love, the reason that Kai doesn't have family is that he's the orphan son of Faith and Justice Ward.
That could be, yeah.
How awesome would that be?
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that he's on a football scholarship means that he doesn't have to worry about, family paying for his college or whatever. So
they are not putting Kaiwan. Hold on one second, Kaiwan. They are not putting Gio with Lulu. Knock it off. They're not putting Gio with Lulu. That's not happening.
No, Gio and Lulu. No, that will not.
No.
I mean, hell, you see the people going crazy because of Drew and Willow and their generational split. You're not going to see Lulu and Gio together.
Yeah, no, exactly. What it's going to be, if anything, is that it's just going to be more, pissing Brooklyn off.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be. I would love for the Wards to have an offspring on campus too, and I think it would be great. Can you imagine? The orphan son, and he doesn't even know who his parents are. That could be real damn interesting.
And that would make him part of the Quartermain clan, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, where does Justice fit into the Quartermains? I know that he was.
I'm pretty sure he was Jason and AJ's cousin.
Okay. Well, Kevin, you're right. That'll be soapy, but there's a limit to how soapy they'll go.
See, I didn't think they gave those vibes. I know some people thought that those pool scenes gave those, but again, this stuff is all subjective. Vibes, chemistry, like attractiveness. Some people will look at somebody and go, "My God, they're gorgeous," and some people are like, "Not my cup of tea." Like attractiveness, like talent, like singing, like anything. These things are subjective and per the viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More Quartermains to drive Tracy crazy. I'm telling you, Jane Elliott is a treasure. And,
absolutely need to wrap her in bubble wrap.
I am so glad that she ended up coming out of retirement because she's needed on the show. She's just absolutely phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. And it's so funny, too, because she was only coming back. Her plan was just come back for a little while to re-up her health insurance, her SAG health insurance.
Yeah.
I'm so glad she stayed. I am so.
I am too.
She is. When I think of the amount of things I want for her. I want her and Stella with an apartment, with a house together, Golden Girls in it. I would watch that show exclusively.
So I have to ask you, Professor Angela, while you were busy this week, did you have time to put together This Week in GH History?
I did.
Well, then we're going to hop into
every day, so it's just like a few minutes. So
all right, so then we're going to hop into our DeLorean as we go.
We're sending you back to the future.
All right, so we're going to turn it over to Professor Angela as we go to Today in General Hospital History.
Yes, I'm just pulling up my document. Hold on. Am I here still? Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. I'm like, where is it? I opened a new tab in the... Okay. Let's see. We start with July 22nd, 1993. Holly said goodbye to Robin, Mac, and Felicia because she was leaving. In 1996, Nicholas brushed off Laura's attempts to connect with him. In 2013, Carly stopped Franco from hurting Danny. And in 2016, Valentin shot Kevin. We go to July 23rd, 1992. John Stamos guest started himself on GH, even though he had previously appeared as Blackie Parrish. In 1993, Michael Sutton debuted as Stone. In 1996, Stefan showed Nicholas around their new home, which was Windermere. In 2024, Carly told Jason that she was turning herself in to free him from Jagger's control.
Mm-hmm.
July 24th, 1998, the double wedding of Mac and Felicia and Kevin and Lucy began. In 2016, Christina asked Sonny how she would react if he knew she was gay. We had talked about this one earlier. In 2014, Nina drugged Silas.
Yep.
In 2023, Carly was revealed to be the new owner of Kelly's, now Bobby's. And this one was one of my favorites. 2017, Sam shot Sonny and then pushed him into the ditch. That was when she
I
had
remember
the
that
kidnapping
one.
cases. Yep, it's glorious. July 25th, 1997, Bobby found out that Carly was pregnant. And that was with Michael. 2019, Willow told Chase that she loved him. 2016, Sam passed out before she could tell Drew what she had done to Sonny. But sadly, oh well. And I've lost my place. Okay, July 26th, 2013, Liesl told Britt that her secret about Ben was about to come out. In 2019, Nell wanted to talk with Michael about their son. 2021, Finn prepared to show Anna where Peter's body was. July 27th, 1983, Robert learned that an enemy agent named Hendrik Brenich was on his way to Port Charles. Jackie introduced Luke to her new boyfriend, Hendrik Brenich. In 1990, Anna was horrified when she found a painting in Faison's house of her and Faison with Robin. In 1998, Kevin and Lucy's wedding was called off after Eve interrupted with proof that Lucy had helped cause the accident that had left Serena blind. But Mac and Felicia got married. In 2006, Patrick was exposed to HIV while operating on a patient, and Robin was reminded of Stone as she supported him through it. 2005, Anthony Geary last appeared as a regular as Luke Spencer. He returned in 2007 for Jane Elliott's retirement, what was thought to be a retirement, but it was a one-off. 2021, Anna, Finn, Elizabeth, and Jason were shocked to learn that Peter's body was missing. 2018, Jason rescued Carly from Ferncliff. God, I loved that.
That was a great story.
Yes. 2017, Carly stopped Elizabeth from being kidnapped. July 28th, 1986, Monica was in shock after learning of Alan's death, air quotes. Wasn't really dead then. In 1992, Jagger and Jason threw Cal off the side of a cliff. In 2011, Tyler Christopher last appeared as Nicholas Cassadine, ending his second 8-year run, and he would return again in 2013. And that was this week in General Hospital history.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Professor Angela. And before we get to our next segment, we're gonna go ahead and show some love to one of our advertisers. Are you having problems in the bedroom? Are you having problems with your sex life? Well, I know just who to talk to, and that's Lori. CoachingByLori.com is where you can set up voice, video, or text sessions to talk about sex, to talk about intimacy, kinks, fetishes, taboos, fantasies, or your sexuality. You could talk about coming out and what to expect when you come out. Lori is a sex therapist and talks about your sexual health. Lori's offering all new clients 20% off their first session with the coupon code WELCOME. That's Coaching by Lori, LORIE.com. Coupon code WELCOME, WELCOME, for 20% off your first session. All right, and we actually had quite a bit of lovemaking this week with Marco and Lucas after Lucas rescued him from the abandoned room that Marco was being held in.
I just want to say, Lucas was right when he was talking to Carly. He was 100% right. And I know people are like, but then Marco went to his father and said that because of what Sonny had done.
Right.
And I know, well, Sonny only did that because of what Sidwell did. Well, for years, Jason and Sonny were on this whole, you're not supposed to bring kids into it. And Sonny kidnapped Marco knowing that he had saved Christina.
Yeah.
So no, I'm sorry. this is Sonny. Lucas was right with everything he said to Carly. Everything he said to Carly. And I love Carly, but I am not loving her defense of that man. I never do, because she knows Lucas is right.
Yeah, she
does.
does.
When she defended, Sonny and Jason to Lucas, I think it was like the week before, she then went down to Jason and was like, I did this, but she's not wrong.
Yeah.
She begged Sonny not to do what he did.
Right.
Nope. Lucas was right, and Carly was wrong. But,
yeah, and Lucas went off on Sonny as well. Like, it was fantastic. Like, the way that he stood up to Sonny, I just, that's one of those things where you kind of jump from your supporting to lead, almost like jumping from mid card to main event. That was the thing. He stood his ground against Sonny, and he pointed out the fact that there was no reason to have Marco kidnapped, and he went to the cops about it.
And the thing is I saw some people are like, oh, well, now Lucas is turning on Sonny. Lucas has never been a Sonny cheerleader. He accepted Sonny when he was with but Luke, it's just like Bobby. Bobby accepted Sonny when him and Carly were together, after her and Carly got close. Before then, she really liked Bob. But, I mean, Bobby had turned on, being a Sonny lover a long time ago, and Lucas never really was one.
Yep.
So.
I think, Steve, they kind of dropped that story.
Yeah, they did.
Because it would have been nice if it was not Gladys. The one from Nixon Falls. I can't remember her name now.
Phyllis?
Phyllis, yeah. That would have been a good story, but they kind of dropped it.
Yeah.
Why, I'm not sure. Could have been scheduling, could have been just any number of things.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I enjoyed seeing Lucas, save Marco, and then just the fallout from it was absolutely great. The way they talked, the way that Marco, went to the cops and kind of, he said that he was lost in the woods and lost his phone, because he's obviously getting involved with his father's business at this point.
Well, I mean, yes, he is, but I mean, the whole reason is because of what Sonny did to him.
Yes, of course.
You know what I mean? Because he very clearly was not part of it. And when Carly was just like, Marco knows who his father is. Yeah. Put Michael, change those words change Marco to Michael. Now tell me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's as easy as that. Right. Okay. But Lucas has never been with Sonny. Lucas has never been on Sonny's side. And Lucas and Marco have been together for 5 minutes. Okay, so what? It doesn't matter. Lucas and Marco could just be friends. Lucas could just be, hey, I'm a doctor, and this is a fucked up thing that Sonny did to this human being.
Yep.
And he'd be right. It doesn't matter that they've been together for 5 minutes. And as far as Carly with the whole, you've only been together, I think that Jason would have something to say about the whole Jack of it all. Because she stood up to Jason about Jack, and they had only been.
I don't think that Lucas is self-righteous.
Stuff throughout his life. Julian did not come into Lucas's life until he was an adult. Lucas was raised by a doctor and a nurse.
Right. Exactly.
He was raised by a doctor and a nurse. He was not raised by Julian. He didn't know. He had nothing to do with Julian until he was an adult.
Hell, Julian didn't know about his kids until he was older.
Right. So, no, Lucas was not raised. Michael was raised in the mob. Lucas was not raised in that stuff.
Yeah. Hi, Anya. Welcome to the chat. Everything is going well. So, obviously, we know that Sonny is a no good. He's not a good guy. But we also don't know exactly what he does in the mob, whether, he says no weapons and no drugs, but we still don't know what makes him a mobster. Maybe
And
he's just
the whole
mobster.
no weapons thing is crap because he was shipping weapons for
Pikeman. Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be no weapons, no drugs, no women. And then, he was shipping the weapons for pikemen. He used to do the drug thing before Stone and the women thing, obviously, too. But then he became, the good guy mobster. I remember a few years ago, one day, Dex walked into his office and said something about the shipment of like fake designer bags or something like that, or designer shoes or something. And it just cracked me up because we had always said that, what are they doing? First, it was like pirated DVDs, we used to say way back in the day, because, what else is there?
Right, exactly.
But now, fake designer bags. Yep, that's what he's doing.
So,
ridiculousness.
Yeah. Let's see. But so first of all, the scenes that they had with Marco and Lucas, Marco needing to get into get to the shower and everything to kind of freshen up, and Lucas wanted to look over him because he's a doctor, all flowed very, very well. And then they end up, obviously sleeping together. Just, I really like how they're building the Lucas character now. Van Hansis is doing a great job.
Fabulous job. And I hate that, the argument with him and because him and Carly were so close, have been so close and stuff. And I love that, freaking Sonny ruins everything.
Yeah.
God. And his whole, I don't want to come between you and your brother. Yes, you do. You don't care about her brother. Stop lying. You're a lying liar who lies. I agree. I'm interested to see where it goes to.
Yeah.
I'm nervous that it's going to turn into, Lucas being the idiot bad guy because, Sonny's so good and Sidwell's so bad when that's not what it is. Oh God, he's phenomenal. He's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And he was on this week's episode of State of Mind with Maurice Bernard.
I thought we were talking about.
No, I'm sorry, not Van Hansen. Sorry, it's the guy that plays Marco. I can't remember his name.
I know his name. I just can't pronounce it.
But yeah, Van Hansis is doing a phenomenal job with the Lucas role. He's, like I said, I think he's jumped from mid card to main event level at this point. And I hope that he's kind of one that carries the show going forward.
They need to move it down to that age group. They just do. And I say that with, my favorite character is Carly. My favorite ship is Jason and Carly. It is time to move the olders more towards the back.
Yeah. And you know what, Del J, you're right. It is going to be very interesting to see where Lucas, Marco, Sonny, Sidwell story goes. I mean, we've been saying it for a while that, it could be Sonny's last stand pretty soon. So we don't know whether that's going to happen or not. Everybody's been quiet or whatever, but just the way that they're playing everything out, it looks like the walls are almost closing in on Sonny. And with the heightened level of WSP around, and Joss putting it out there that the entire reason why she joined the WSP was to take down Sonny, I think it's like the beginning of the end.
I think it seems to me that's where it's going to, especially because, I mean, even if we don't see the end of Sonny, we could be seeing the end of the mob empire Sonny, because I know that there are a lot of people who think that they're putting Sonny and Carly back together. Guys, listen to me.
Not going to happen.
They are pairing him with the DA. They're doing this again. A woman in law enforcement. Falling for that man. So they're pairing him with the DA. It's going to be, I don't even know, but that is what's happening. And I had heard that from sources. I had heard that from a set side source, a crew person. I had heard that from another source. I had heard that from a very, very big source. And then when I saw Mo last week, my time's all running together. When I saw Mo in Boston, whenever that was, I think it was the 16th. Yeah, it was the 16th.
Yeah.
So yeah, last week, week before. It was a whole group of Carly and Sonny, or Sonny and Brenda, or even some Sonny and Nina fans. And he goes, I got a story coming up that's real great. None of you are going to like it. So, exactly. It's Hannah Scott 5.0. And of course, it goes back to, the petite little brunette. It's just his next Brenda, but, not a.
Until the real Brenda comes back.
Come get your man.
Will the real Brenda Barrett please stand up?
Please come get your man.
Del J, do you think Portia will resign? I think Drew will go on a revenge tour. Drew's going to end up having everything come crashing down around him. And I think they may put him on some kind of a redemption tour. I don't know about revenge, but I think redemption.
Well, I think, we could very well also find out there's something wrong with Drew's head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Brainwashing, a tumor, something.
Yep.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wish. Mo says that they won't let him go gray, which seems, it seems suspect to me because Rick's gray, Dante is gray, Martin's gray. You know what I mean? His son is allowed to have grays and he's not. His brother, who's his younger brother, is allowed to be full on white and he's not. That seems a little weird to me, but either way, it's not a good look. He looks horrible. Not horrible. He looks better with the salt and pepper.
Of course, because that's a natural.
If it wasn't shoe polish black, maybe it would be a little different. But the salt and pepper is definitely the better look, I think.
I think a lot of it has to do with just the character that Sonny's playing. To be in charge, he has to kind of look almost immortal, like invulnerable.
John Gotti had gray hair.
Yeah.
The Teflon Don had gray hair. I mean, I guess Capone didn't, but Capone was a lot younger.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm pouring my ice into my other iced tea. But it doesn't. Kaiwan says I think that they want to keep Mo young, but the thing is, it doesn't make him look young. It makes him look old, like he's old and desperately trying to look young.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make him look young. It makes him look like he's old.
And trying
and not accepting it. So it makes him look pathetic.
Exactly.
So.
All right. Did we miss anything from the week? I can't remember considering.
So, but we might have because I missed things from the week.
Yeah, I know that. I know you missed a couple of episodes. I was in a fog for a few episodes, so it's a possibility we may have missed a couple things. But
we're human.
Yes, we are human. We do forget things from time to time, and I've got a dog over here that's ready to go to bed. But I think we're going to end it tonight. End it for now. We'll be back next week for Suds News and Gate Crashers again next Monday night. Gate Crashers will re-premiere next Monday, the 4th of August, at 10 p.m. Eastern. And we'll, talk all about Beyond the Gates and their first July sweeps. However, just before that, this coming Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, our next Suds Media Premium Live event is going to be the Sudsy Awards 2025 Sudsy Awards, taking place live 8 p.m. Eastern this coming Friday night, the 1st of August. Get tuned in. It'll be on many of these same networks that you're watching now. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be having special appearances by many of the who's who of podcasters of soaps and wrestling podcasts, including Angela and Kim, but also Matt and Kat from 10th Floor, our previous co-host from Suds News. Christy is also going to be a presenter. We've got the incomparable Julie Dove, who's going to be a presenter this year as well. David from NGE Radio, NGE Soaps will be a presenter as well. And then on the wrestling side, John Anthony from Chair Shot Sports. Candace Mack, who will be doing both a wrestling and a soap category, she'll be presented to Sudsies. We're also going to be having Michael from I believe it's Mob Squad on Twitter. He does a wrestling podcast. Big Mike from the Run-In. So we're going to have a who's who. I will be doing a couple of presentations. We did finally get one new one. One of my friends, he's in the hip hop business, Jay Deuce, will be doing the tag team of the year for wrestling. But I think he's going to be promoting his WWE 2K25 YouTube league. So either way, we're going to be having fun with it. Oh yeah, and Amanda and Shannon from Pier 54 as well. So we've got a who's who coming up this coming Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, live right here. It'll be the 2025 Sudsy Awards. All right, Angela, where can everybody find you?
Well, they can find me at Brooklyn74 or under Angela Ryan Duncan on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Now, if anybody goes to pettyprattle.com right now, you're going to find that, I believe, it's under construction, and it's going to remain that way for a little while. We are doing a rebrand and a relaunch September 1st. I'm so excited about it. It's another thing that's been occupying my attention. So stay tuned for that, and we're not going away. We're just rebranding it because my little ADHD brain had an idea and I couldn't let it go. So, but I am still writing for Parade, and I am back on writing now that my aunt's house or apartment is finally empty, even though it's in my driveway. But yeah, so parade.com for my articles, Brooklyn74 on Twitter, and here, there, and everywhere. Sorry, that was
all
rambling.
right, fantastic. And as always, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter, Vinny Suds, and at Suds Media for the show, for the network, Twitter, and then on Instagram, TikTok, some kind of combination of Suds and Squared Circle. Definitely go ahead and buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Suds Media, and then join our Patreon, patreon.com/Suds and Squared Circle. Go on.
Real quick, I just want to tell people, we need writers. We need writers for...
Oh, I think you froze.
I'm not going to tell Frozen. We need writers, so reach out to me. We need writers starting in September, and it's a paid gig.
Yes.
And it's not just soaps. It's all of entertainment and a bunch of other stuff. If you like to write and you want to get paid to do it and you want to be published, and you want to be on a site, reach out, DM. We need writers.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Angela. As always, it's been a pleasure. Chat, 240 people currently watching live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to tune in this coming Friday night, August 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern. The Sudsy Awards live right here. So we will be back with you. We will see you Friday for the Sudsies. For Angela, I'm Vinny. We'll see you next week as we break down more Suds for Suds News. Have a great night, everybody.